Minister John Steenhuisen has directed the Agriculture Department to work with the South African Poultry Association on a plan to address future avian influenza outbreaks in the country. This follows a warning from the NSPCA about the risk of another outbreak which could severely damage the poultry industry unless immediate action is taken. With the return of migratory birds, the risk of a new highly contagious virus escalates, raising concerns among industry experts about the subsequent implications. Deputy Director General of Agricultural Production in the Department of Agriculture, Dipepeneneng Serage, joins us now to weigh in on this. DDG, thank you so much for your time and for joining us this afternoon. How dire is the situation of a looming outbreak of the avian influenza?
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to your viewers. The situation shouldn't be as dire as it's been made out to be if all parties and farmers in this case were cooperating with the set guidelines and requirements, biosecurity requirements. So we do not have outbreak at the moment, and we are able, if all of them cooperate, we should be able to ensure that we do not get an outbreak.
I mean, you say there's no outbreak, DDG, and the NSPCA has warned that without sufficient government intervention, millions of birds will be impacted and even threatening a bird population possibly in the near future. What are the implementations that the government is currently undertaking in order to ensure that this outbreak does not take place?
I think NSPCA, they're being very reckless. I must voice it out outrightly. They're very reckless. In order for us not to have an outbreak, two things need to happen. The first one, which is in terms of the Section 11 of the Animal Diseases Act, it is the obligation of the farmers, whoever enters into farming or makes farming their business, they need to adhere to the prescripts, and one of such is the Animal Diseases Act. Section 11 of the Animal Diseases Act makes it an obligation on any farmer to ensure two things. One, that they do not get infected. And secondly, in the event that they get infected, they ensure that the infection does not spread to other neighboring farmers. If we have that as the point of departure, they would then understand that it is their sole responsibility, all farmers, to ensure that they do not get infected. And how can they ensure that they do not get infected? The first step is to biosecure their operations. Biosecurity, it means if you have a commercial or any poultry farm, you've got to ensure that you've got the fencing that is surrounding your farm. Let me just help viewers to understand that a poultry farm is unlike a cattle farm. So this is inside a house with doors and windows and shutters and everything else. So a wild bird cannot fly into that. The assumption here is that wild bird will fly nearby, no problem. But anybody who goes into and out of the farm should have foot bath and should change their PPEs and wash their hands and observe all the biosecurity requirements. If they were to do that, we wouldn't have an outbreak. So they mustn't make an outbreak as if it's something that's going to fall from the sky and suddenly all of us are in danger. They need to play their part. And so that's what we want them to do. Secondly, we've registered a vaccine for the one strain of the highly pathogenic avian influenza. The vaccine is registered in the country. But in order for us to allow them to vaccinate, we set a number of protocols that they need to adhere to. All they need to do is to adhere to those. That is, vaccination is not a curing. It's not going to cure the birds from being infected. It will just make it manageable, and it will make sure that those that are infected do not continue to infect others. So vaccination is not the panacea to ensuring that we biosecure agriculture in the country.
But how much of an impact would vaccination have in ensuring that there isn't an outbreak? Because the NSPCA is also speaking about a revision of the vaccination red tape by government. If that was laxed somehow, there would certainly be assistance in ensuring that there isn't an outbreak. Is that not the case?
I think next time you must invite us and NSPCA in the same platform. They must explain to me in science what they mean by relaxation. because all the measures that we have put in place, let me also use this opportunity to explain to those that might not understand that South Africa is a signatory to the World Trade Organization and also signatory to World Organization on Animal Health. The measures that we have set in place are not South African measures. These are measures that are set at that level where the world's best scientists with specialization, veterinary scientists with specialization in poultry, gathered and developed these measures. These are not our measures. These are measures that are developed by the World Health Organization on Animal Health. So if we are to apply these measures and we vaccinate under these conditions that we've set, we would not lose our status. We'll still be able to export. But if we were to vaccinate in the manner in which, the reckless manner in which they want us to vaccinate through, we will automatically lose our status and our ability to be able to export poultry and poultry products. They don't mention that when they come to media. I don't know what is it that they're trying to achieve.
So you seem to mention that this is a collaboration between the department and all other stakeholders, and most especially the farmers of these birds. Are there any ways in which farmers can then be held accountable in ensuring that this outbreak, as the NSPCA puts it, it does not happen in the way that they suggest?
Well, it's very simple. They must just adhere to biosecurity requirements. They must just make sure that whoever goes into the poultry house, they change PPEs, they wash their hands, they shower. It's a requirement. It's not something that the department just said somewhere and decided. They know about it. It's a worldwide practice. Everybody who farms in poultry in this specific case have got to adhere to biosecurity measures. One of such is around the house, where the chicken house is, where the poultry farm is, it must be surrounded by fence. When you go closer to the house, you must have footpath. Vehicles entering and exiting must make sure that they go through the footpath. Footpath or it's where they get sanitized. The vehicles get sanitized in and out. The farmers wear PPEs, they wash, they shower. It's a requirement. That's not something that we've just sat there and decided to make it complicated. It's not. The rules, as I repeat, the protocol that we have developed with all industry players together, engaged, and they were part of the protocol, is taken as is from the guidelines of the World Organization on Animal Health. It's not our only South African protocols.